Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. It is patch notes time again and I'm here with all the details for the August 2022 update in mcoc. Let's jump right in. 6 or 7 things I think you should know about. So first off, we're getting 2 brand new champions next month. I know that comes as a huge surprise for anybody who plays this game. First new champ we're getting is Quicksilver, who was the winner of the Summoner's Choice, and the second champ is Galan, who is Galactus before he became Galactus. Unfortunately, the spotlights for these champions are not going to be available for a few days yet, so I can't go into any detail on them. I will say that I think expectations are very high, especially for Quicksilver because he was voted on by the fans. Galan / Galactus, again, a very powerful character in the comics, so I think expectations for him in the game are also very high. Already saving for the next feature crystal, so take that any way you want. Looking forward to seeing more details come out on those 2 new champions in the coming days. Alright, number 2 is next month's side event. It's called Galan Goes to the Battle Realm. It involves Galan and Deadpool. Alright, so there's going to be 5 quests, 4 difficulties, and 5 paths per quest. But the important thing that I want to point out here is that 4 of the 5 paths in each side quest are going to be gated with champion-specific gates. And I know that sounds terrible, but we're going to be getting all of the 2-star champs required for these paths from a new gatekeeper calendar. And I'm actually pretty happy about this because exclusive 2-star champions are some of the most difficult things to get in this game, and I know that they're pretty much useless for the vast majority of players and really just for people who like to collect all the champions like myself. But regardless, if you are curious about all the champions that are going to be in the calendar next month, I'll put it up here. You can pause the video and look over the list here. I'm not going to read all of them. Number 3 is Eternity of Pain Anger will be concluding, so there will be a finale event similar to the one in Eternity of Pain Denial with all 4 fights on one path, and there will be 4 solo objectives for Thronebreaker players and 2 additional objectives for Paragon players. I am assuming that it's going to be the same, like 6 class-based objectives that we saw in the first Eternity of Pain. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be, though. Again, after Eternity of Pain finale wraps up, there will be I think a 2 or 3 week period before the rewards are paid out. So you can look forward to your Nexus crystals or whatever whatever tier of rewards you got. Okay, number 4 is a huge update to Alliance War bans. So starting with season 36 later this month, the highest banned champions of each season will be put on a blacklist for the following season and will be unavailable for use by players in tiers where the blacklist is active. So the example here is that if Human Torch is the most banned champion of this current season right now, he will be blacklisted in the next season, and then he will be completely unavailable for use, I'm assuming for offense and defense, for the entirety of season 36. And then in season 37, Torch would be put on the whitelist, which means that he would be immune from bans for the entire season. And then after that season, so season 38, Torch will return to the regular pool. For these black and white lists, the expert map will have 2 champions, and the challenger maps will have 1 champion on the black and white list, and then lower tiers will have none. What isn't specified here, and I want to make sure this is understood, is that this is kind of a global effect. And what I mean by that is that all bans in all tiers, where bans are a thing, are added together to determine who the most banned champion or champions are. So it's not per map or per tier. Everybody's bans are summed together. The blacklisted champion or champions will be the same for any tier in which a blacklist or whitelist are in effect. So just want to keep that in mind. Tier 1 will be the same as tier 3, etc., etc. So I just want to make sure that's clear. Alright, number 5 is next month's champion buff. It's Juggernaut. This was revealed a few days ago, maybe last week, something like that. So the spotlight for Juggernaut should be available right now. I gave it a couple of read-throughs yesterday. It looks like he is going to be a lot more fun to play offensively. Defensively, though, he actually looks easier to counter than he did before. The mechanic that generates his unstoppable buffs can be turned off by any non-damaging debuff. Don't really need a slow or decelerate debuff or a hard unstoppable counter to counter him, and I'm assuming that is so that more science champions can counter him by default. So somebody like Anti-Venom, for example, who places a debuff, a non-damaging debuff at the start of the fight, is probably going to shut him down for the entirety of the fight, which is pretty cool. Looking forward to playing around with buffed Juggernaut. Last but not least, number 6 is next month's list of bug fixes and improvements. Pretty light month for bug fixes. Call a couple of these out. First off, Man-Thing. They fixed an issue where Man-Thing was not turning buffs into pustules using his basic attacks and his special 2. So that is a big improvement to Man-Thing. Night Thrasher also been fixed. His Incinerate and Shock debuffs were triggering the Be Like Water nodes unblockable. Be Like Water is a node where if you apply a non-damaging debuff to the defender, they go unblockable for a period of time, and those are obviously damaging debuffs. And lastly, I don't know why this is in here twice. I guess they want to really hammer this point home. But One Eye Open, which is a node where any damage that you deal while the defender is stunned is reflected back to you. So apparently this was broken and only reflecting damage that was happening during a stun debuff. So things like passive stuns are going to also reflect damage back to you if you attack into them while it's active. All right, one more thing that I just forgot about until right now is that next month is the annual Legends celebration. Usually what that means is that the first summoners who finish Realm of Legends, which was Brutal, DLX, Labyrinth, I can't remember who that was, and Abyss. I actually think Abyss was Seaton who finished that first. They usually have them pick like a free Cav Crystal to send out to all the players. It says gifts plural, offers plural, and then a trade-in store. So look forward to that as well next month. Guys, that's going to do it for the August update. Let me know what you are most excited about. For me, I'm excited to finish up this next round of Eternity of Pain and get my Mutant Nexus, which will definitely not contain Archangel. And I'm very much looking forward to the exclusive 2-star champions in next month's side event. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like. Please remember to hit sub. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.